I mean, we still need a theme song, so.
That was kind of one of the reasons I wanted a noise cancelling headphone was a noise cancelling microphone was so I didn't need to deal with headphones as much. I also didn't even think Rodri even used headphones. I've only noticed now he does.
Again, I've used this exact same setup for a year, Lucas.
How could you not know?
Nothing has
Somebody
changed.
hasn't been watching the Let's Plays.
Okay, Lucas hasn't been watching the Let's Plays. Connor hasn't been watching the races. What haven't you been watching, Dancer?
I missed one
Also
race.
Fair enough.
I watched the most I've had to keep track.
For me, I haven't been watching my weight, so there we go. You know, I'll join the club too.
There's a nice exercise bike for you, Rodri, when you come over here.
Oh, nice. Dropping
Can
hint.
you see it from the back? Well, you can't see it from this angle.
I hope that's the intro to the podcast, because I think we've nailed it.
It can be now.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Press Triangle to Talk, the all-new podcast from Square to Charge.
Woo!
I am today's host, Danta Fanta, and today we are joined by Lucas B.
Oh, hello, everybody. I'm not typing.
Connor David.
Hello, everyone. What's the crack?
Bobbledink, aka Rodri.
Hello, YouTube watchers. It's your boy Bobbledink here.
And also the Kiwi Dragon.
It's too bloody early for this.
Why?
So, as I said, this is the all-new podcast we're starting, Press Triangle to Talk, or just Triangle to Talk. We have a theme going on, in case you couldn't tell. But...
Mint.
Yeah, I can't quite work out what it is, but, you know, I'll get there eventually, you know.
Something to do with shapes.
I think it's got something to do with the Xbox logo, but...
Yeah.
Sorry, before we begin,
can
I just point out that massive-ass bottle of water that Rodri's got? I don't know if you guys saw my eyes just bulging as I'm just seeing him just chug this thing, and I'm like, what the hell has he got in his
That
hand?
wasn't even the original water bottle. That one
I
broke.
thought it was a flagon of alcohol or something, and it was like, no, it's a bottle of water.
Do you know, I
I'm
get
like,
that a lot. I get like, oh, you hiding gin in there, you're hiding bit, you know. And the thing is, so the original one was blue, so it would have had to have been clear alcohol. This one's black, so I could legitimately be hiding Pepsi Max in this.
Pepsi Max.
And you know, I wouldn't
think
put
you're
that
just getting
past
drunk on
myself
stream.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. You know, we'll
Well,
find
I've
out
done
as
it
we
before.
go on. You know,
Now,
like,
make sure you don't kill any Uber
don't
drivers
skip
this
to
time,
the end
Rodri.
though. You know,
Don't
gotta
kill any Uber
watch
drivers.
the drunkenness flow slowly. Like,
But anyway, to start off with our first conversation topic of the podcast that is somewhat scripted. I'm kidding. We were always intended to talk about that bottle. Rodri, you have a problem.
Yeah.
this is your intervention.
this was actually
Exactly.
oh my. Okay.
This is an
That's
intervention.
right.
Yeah.
This isn't actually a podcast.
Press
Yeah.
triangle to consult.
That actually wasn't where I thought I was going, but thank
Okay.
God it was where it was going.
That's one for the Twitter Kiwi, you know.
Exactly.
Like, oh, today we actually, you know, Bobbledink finally seeks help.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So, in regards to the channel, though, like, this is a brand new creation we all came up with this year. So, does anyone want to talk about the origins of the channel, like what we want to do with this channel, and why we felt like it was important to have our own channel?
So, shout out to Janinjus for being the one that let us use the server, because without him, it would have been an entirely new server altogether.
And that's
And it
the
would've-
last thing we need, really.
Yeah, because one of the problems in the past has been that there's been too many, like a proliferation of servers, basically. So he was kind enough to let us congregate, and then sort of the idea was to like just take all the themes away from basically, you know, all the other kind of tournaments that's happened in the past or communities, and sort of just bring it to down to what it's all about, which was the Spyro theme, which really brought everybody together, and then with that, then everything else would just sort of form afterwards. Like we've now got a Versus series, we've got like the 99 SC, you know, and a bunch of other projects as well in the lineup. So like this, for example. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just kind of like an octopus, got tons of tentacles, you know.
No, absolutely. I concur with that as well. So I mean, for context to anyone who might not know who we are, like we've all kind of like dribbed and drabbed through, different communities and servers. So there's a community called ISGP that most of us have come from, all of us have heard of, and stuff like that. There were things like Games Raced Awfully, a community set up by Toonie SA back in 2015, I think it was. So this stuff kind of goes back a long way. And what's interesting to me is like I didn't set out at the start of this year to create my own one of these channels. Like I was always very happy to be part of something else, because it's about a community effort and not about like claiming ownership over something.
One-man show, yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny because I feel like Square to Charge really came from the fact that there were a lot of problems with, communities and stuff. And we kind of wanted that clean breakaway, but we wanted to do our own version of it that we could do right and that we could run well. And it's almost like we had the ideas for the content and stuff that we wanted to do before we even had the channel name. And
100%.
It was actually magical. And Connor, you could even chat to us a bit about how, Square to Charge kind of came to mind. Because it really did just... It's if you've ever seen Waterloo Road, its whole catchphrase is ex nihilo omni, which is everything from nothing. And that's captured the essence of what Square to Charge has been this year. We didn't set out to make what we've made this year, but it's happened, and it's happened because we're a community. We work together. And I think our individual visions for what Square to Charge should be might be different, but what will always keep us together is that it's a team effort, and that no one's above anyone else. We all have some ownership of it in some way.
Wait, we're not above everyone else? Okay, there goes an entire segment of the podcast.
So Connor, talk a bit about how the 99 SC sort of merged with the Square to Charge brand, because I know the idea for you with that term was like months before it was even formed, and then it just sort of merged together.
So just from my own background, just to explain to viewers who might not know, I have actually been doing speed runs since around 2011. I've been doing it for the past couple of years, and last year I decided I wanted to try and host my own tournament, because I'm not one of those guys that says they can't do it, they can't do that. I actually like to put my head above the block and actually try my hand at something. And I always found the idea of 99 specifically was that, amazingly, in the years I've done speedrunning, no one had actually hosted a 1999 tournament. So that right there, I was thinking to myself, there's actually a gap in the market for this. This is perfect. We have so many good games from 1999 that appeal to everyone in this call, people in the tournament, people watching the races. And it just seemed the perfect thing to start off with, because it was fresh, it was new, it was different. And I was able to put my own stamp on things, able to basically incorporate kind of a different idea as well. And with Square to Charge being a new channel, it was the perfect building block, I think, as well, to get that off the ground and also try this hand at this tournament as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I think what's been really good though was that originally I think there was going to be more of a cap on the kind of games that was going to be in the tournament, and we took that cap off, and that has made it more engaging for everyone. I think that's been a part of it, and for the videos themselves.
The idea was originally just to keep it as just mandatory and encourage games, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then when I just saw games like Pepsi Man, and other games showing up, it was
Elmo's Number Journey. Anyone?
Don't
Elmo's
laugh at
Letter
me.
Adventure.
Don't laugh at me, guys. I think Shield Tour is a great game. But I think to the guys, I just love these just random games that we're seeing.
Kind of made a tournament that was like crawl percent. That's what I love about it.
How many more tournaments do you see? How many more tournaments will you see Elmo in round?
Well, what about Rugrats?
Well, if I get to
Or
make my
Studio
Elmo's
Tour.
tournament, then hopefully a lot more tournaments.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love my boy Spyro, and I mean my background's sort of purple-ish, doesn't really show up well on camera. Like it has been really cool showcasing games that I just don't think anyone else would even think to do.
Yeah.
And I think your idea for 1999 especially has become a great catalyst for that because
Yeah.
it's made us think, right, well, it's not just Disney games. It's not just, like,
Spyro, Looney Tunes.
Spyro or Crash or Looney Tunes or whatever. Like, it's just any game within that year, like, in existence.
Yeah.
And that's really cool because it's like, it's unlocked a lot of core memories from, my childhood of,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, this very obscure game I played is from that year. And oh my goodness, I found some random person on the internet willing to race it with me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Like, oh my god, I
Um,
played that game as well when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
you're
can
you're an Elmo aficionado as well.
Oh, I know it's Studio Tour, I'm
Exactly.
afraid.
It's like
All
on
the exclusives right here on Square to Charge.
It's
On
very
the-
fitting that when a mandatory game actually came up, the first thing I said was, "Oh wow, this is finally in the tournament."
It's like on the opposite end of the scale, though. I've actually discovered a lot more games that I never really considered playing before that I've now started to play because of this tournament. Like, I never knew what Kingsley's was before, but I'll admit it's a great game.
Yeah.
And I never even tried Ape Escape before I raced a Kiwi Dragon here with it. And that was
Yeah.
a fun race.
That
Even-
was as we called it in the video. I think we said it was one of the video games of all time.
It certainly was a video game.
It certainly was a game. Like,
But,
Shout out to Andrew, Chris Fisher, and Joe, Dr. Monkey Man, who are big fans of Ape Escape.
oh, 100%.
Oh, it's actually why Joe Monkey Man's in the server.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we're gonna actually. That's another thing we can bring up. Actually, Joe is actually down to do some exhibition races with us in the future. So, guys, please check those out after the tournament.
subscribe for Joe Monkey Man and Ape Escape videos. There we go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But on the note of all of these races that have been done so far, round 1 of the tournament has just concluded. Or maybe it's not concluded yet, depending on when videos get uploaded. But all of the races have been recorded.
It will have
No.
concluded.
Round 1 has concluded. Yes.
Yes.
It's over. It's done.
So
It's over.
this is a good chance to talk about any videos you guys like really enjoyed seeing or being part of, or any games you just enjoyed seeing being raced.
I
Every
really
single
enjoyed
James Bond
the.
race.
Oh, James, from my own perspective, the James Jones race and my one, I really enjoyed that because it really, for me, set off the tournament. I think,
Oh yeah.
like, you
Really
know,
set the tone, I think.
yeah, it really, like, someone said, we have already a memorable quote already from the get-go. Like, how many tournaments can say they have, like, a memorable quote straight away?
Put
They also
that on
had a
the
square
wiki.
to
You don't want to be a sheep in Wales, Lucas.
Yeah. We also had a square to charge reference as well. You know, paying for swim.
Absolutely.
Was
Also
and
the fact
I
that
also
we've got
I also
vodka
enjoyed
in the
I enjoyed Studio Tour, Lucas and Gary, and even watching that back, just the random conversations we were having. Like,
Oh yeah,
like is Chucky long or short sighted?
yeah.
One
I'm allergic to bullshit. Yeah, that kind of thing.
one of my favorite moments will sadly never make it on the channel because I think the original footage didn't record. But in the first attempt between Midnight Heart and Kiwi Dragon, like Midnight Heart kept, walking through the level, and I
Yeah.
kept saying, "No, press square to charge, square to charge." And I was like, what better way to market your channel than to like coach someone using the channel name? Like,
Alright.
Now that would be
It's
something for the
hilarious you
highlights
say
video.
that because when we did the second run and Lucas was there with us, and Lucas says to me, he's like, "She does know about square, pressing square to charge." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, Roger's gone over this with her."
I was
They
like,
had a good coaching session.
okay,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna step back from this.
No, you had a lot more patience than I did. Although I did have a very nice teacher moment of when she got to the end of the level and she was like, "It's the corridor on the left." Left. That was my terrible Kiwi
New
accent
Zealand
impression.
Okay,
accents.
so hashtag cancel Bobbledink.
Booblink is cancelled. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um,
That sounds
But yeah,
so
no, it was like,
supporting.
yes, she remembered what I said. Victory, got there. On that
That's some
same vein,
gesture.
the Lego Racers race, just anything Lego, I'm a sucker for Lego.
It was fun to see that as well.
I must say, even the comments in some of the videos, for example, Rodri saying, "I guess who didn't watch the competitor, the group reveal video for Marcus, you know what the groups were named after," and that's just going, "I prefer Coke."
I do prefer Coke. It's just, Pepsi Man ruined everything for me.
What about every time Casey commented on a video and it had nothing to do with the video?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
shout out,
I didn't know Skilo's Badlands was in the Winter Tundra.
I mean, honestly, Casey's comments are just like one of the highlights of everything, though.
Yeah.
If we ever do a highlights video, I think the highlights should just be Casey's comments themselves, not the racers.
Because he's come out with some interesting stuff. I mean, I remember on the Pokemon Yellow one when he was commenting on that, he came out about something about cherry cola or how do I play this, and then cherry cola, and I was like, what's this man on about?
Did we mention anything about cherry cola? I don't know.
No,
I don't believe we did.
Why not?
Everything that he commented about had nothing to do with the video. That was the whole point.
Oh, on the topic of things we enjoyed, I enjoyed watching the Kiwi Dragon. First off, welcome to Square to Charge and stuff. Late comer, but a very welcome one. Done wonders for our Twitter and stuff already.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed watching. Yes.
He's also been completely dominating the group.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I like that. This like newbie, this fresh face, like comes in and he's like, oh yeah, no, I'll probably be out.
He was
be out
straight to semi-finals.
He was a replacement.
That's what you were doing the past year when I tried to get you in. You were like, no, I'm gonna
I wish.
practice.
A late comer and he
Escape and Spiral.
dominates the group.
Yeah,
He was actually a replacement, but then he ended up being a lot more than that.
Well, let's pull back the curtain, Kiwi. We originally had you down for this tournament, but then you had to pull out. So it's great to get you in the end.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in terms of. I said I'd do it, and then I had to pull out for some reason or another. I don't know what was going on at the time. I'm trying to remember. Like, then again, I can barely remember things that happened like a week prior, so that's not unusual. I mean, you saw it on display when I was racing Hannah the second time, and I'm thinking myself, I was saying about that conversation that Rodri had about, teaching, press square to charge, and in my head, I'm thinking myself, did that conversation actually happen, or was I just hallucinating that while I was racing the first time? And I'm sitting there watching the video back and going, did I have that conversation? No, I must not have. And then you've just confirmed, no, you did technically coach her, so I wasn't freaking hallucinating, but there we go.
Maybe it's a good thing that original video didn't make it then, because she might have won.
Probably.
Who knows?
I mean, she did better in the second run. But yeah, as I say, in terms of coming in, so I think what had happened was that I maybe was keen initially, and then I can only presume maybe I was a bit busy then when I actually turned around and it's like, probably best to look to somebody else. And I think then what happened was Midnight had her computer issues, and I said, look, if she can't do it, then I'll step in, because I didn't think that she'd be able to do it with her Windows 7 laptop. And I was like, ooh, that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
I mean, I think the Lego Racers race kind of proves that maybe she had a point, so I don't know.
Yeah.
She only won the first race, so yeah, I think at the point, yeah.
And then when you guys,
the sacrifice that had to be made.
Yeah. And then when you guys lost, was it Charm Sky that I replaced?
Charm Sky had to drop out of the tournament due to personal reasons.
Yeah. So as I say, and at that point, I was like, okay, you can bring me in then, because I think I said she'd just keep me on standby kind of thing at that point, and I was just like,
and you were ready to go instantly. That was the good thing about it.
Oh yeah, no, as I say, I knew that you guys wanted to get this round one done, and I'm just sitting here like, right, if they're bringing me in, there's no fucking about with this. We're just going to get straight into it.
Well,
absolutely. You came in guns a blazing, edited races and everything.
You edited channel descriptions as well, and
all
you set up
20
a template.
or 30 of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, massive
Hope
props
you
to
had
you for
fun
doing
with that one.
It was
To anyone reading
long
the
2
description now,
days.
that was written by our Kiwi Dragon.
Just watch
I don't know if I
filled
put
with
my
like
description in there.
self-promotion
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like anywhere he is.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Down there, yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't get paid for this gig.
No. I
do-
barely get paid for my own gig.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Especially a voluntary effort.
Square to charge doesn't need money, but if you want to
charge.
give us money, you can definitely pay it directly to my PayPal.
Square to charge does not charge.
Hi,
Hey.
very good.
Yeah.
Although that
Square
would be a
no
good name
charge.
for our Patreon.
Word,
oh,
word
yeah.
Lucas.
I think you need your own boo like clip sound effect. You remember the one I put in the Pokemon Yellow race, and I reused
Oh,
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The boo.
Should add that to one of the
you know.
servers for next time if any of you guys have got Nitro. Yeah.
Nice.
But so with round 1 officially concluded, though, I do want to say one of my favorite introductions we had this tournament was the introduction of our new version of Rock Paper Scissors. Triangle, circle, square.
That was. I think Lucas was wrong. Like he thought we peaked at the start. I think we peaked at the end.
Exactly. But I just find
And
it
they
hilarious
both
that
involved James Jones. Like
we had 2 races that were basically had their conclusions decided by rock paper scissors or a variation of it,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is
Yep.
very
Right.
very fitting for this channel. Like you don't know
Yeah.
what you can expect.
it's
What
like
were the 2
no
races? It was Pokemon Snap and the...
Garth and James and the
Yeah.
group Cork Triple Charge.
Yes.
Right.
And of course,
Although
one of them was James
the rock
Jones one,
paper
ending on
scissors happened in Pokemon Snap because I think 2 of their games weren't working and mine was working fine.
Yeah, this is why
um,
you test the game before you play.
Oh,
yeah. Who knew that? It's kind of an important part of racing.
Turns
I'm
out
just
downloading an
sitting
emulator
there.
goes straight into it doesn't work.
I'm just sitting there
practicing.
watching.
Ew.
I'm sitting there watching Dante's footage and seeing all the screen flickering, and I'm just appreciating this can of Fanta image that keeps popping up. Because all in my head, all I could think of other than that was, thank God there's no actual just raw footage of it. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there making Professor Oak jokes, going, "Who's that Pokemon? It's Seizure Man."
Well, I mean, they already did that in what is it, like 1998, with that original Porygon Pokemon episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Electric Sword of Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, all I could think of when that screen was flickering, because I was the one who edited it, spoiler alert, was, I don't really want us to like risk, in our first season, like giving people seizures. So
Where to
Kind of
charge
fancy it.
sends several young children to hospital today, particularly those in Japan.
see that's bad PR because I think Pokemon had Pikachu to save them. I don't think we have. I mean, we have Kiwi Dragon, so I don't know.
Hashtag
can-
Porygon
I wasn't
did
even in
nothing
the
wrong.
race, so you technically can't even use me as PR. We'll use you
Yeah,
as PR because you were the most successful.
How to play Pokemon Snap correctly. Number 1, test the game. Number 2,
I-
be Bobbledink.
Number 3, potentially download add-ons that you might have to think. Because I was thinking back on it the other day, and I was thinking, did I have to download some kind of add-ons or something to Project 64? And I might have done in retrospect, but I can't remember now. I thought I just booted it up and went straight to it, and apparently maybe I didn't. I'll have to check.
I mean,
As a
knowing
bit
how
of-
emulators work, it's probably just the case of one checkbox wasn't ticked.
Oh,
it's
more
a
than
bit of
likely.
emulator right away, plug and play that. It's
And
not
Like the
really
N64 emulators are very finicky at times, so
and
yeah.
and most
Yeah.
and most
That's the
crucially,
PlayStation.
switch it off.
Also a good point.
Yeah, I
The
thought that was going to be your joke. I thought it was going to be how to play Pokemon Snap. Step
the amount
one.
of effort
No,
that was put
like-
into the test,
Yeah.
the amount of effort that I put into the testing was the amount of effort that was put into the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But the important thing is, I'm second in Group Cork, so I'm through to round 2.
Exactly.
I'm grateful for that game.
You're through to round
Um,
2. Connor and Kiwi are both straight through to the semi-finals, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
well done.
We
And
don't even
Lucas is
do
also in
round
round
two.
2.
Nice.
Oh, I'm round 2, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
only one in this call not in round 2 is the host. So
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that was fully intended. We had to have representatives of each of the sides of the elimination table, yeah? Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
I
Definitely,
intended for that. I purposely didn't test my game.
Although if
But
we're
can I just
talking
clarify? I was to say with the layout of this tournament, we don't do round 2 then. You and me, Connor.
No, we get a bye to the
You get a break.
semi-finals. Yeah,
Wow.
we get a nice
Okay.
break. We gotta get our popcorn
more
out
time
and
to
watch
edit descriptions and Twitter.
and what we get to watch our popcorn, eat our popcorn. Sorry, watch Lucas and Rodri battle it out if they race each other.
Ooh,
That is.
Yeah.
But, I
Well,
mean,
is that a spoiler?
this is a good opportunity to talk about possible round 2 races, like
So
Lucas and
here's
Rodri.
how the round 2 draw is basically going to work. So it's going to be second placers against third placers in one race. It is straight knockout. You win, you go to the semi-finals. Lose, you are eliminated from the tournament.
So you're saying
Okay.
Lucas and Rodri can't possibly race?
Unfortunately, not on this occasion. Maybe in the future.
Wait, were you second, Lucas? Oh,
Yeah.
that means I might race Skater, so I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'm
personally,
going to have to plead for him to play Digging Jim with me.
I feel like if you two can't race, there's no point in carrying on this tournament. So we'll see you guys for the Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever else
or
you want to do.
98 or 2000 or Oxide tournament. Yeah, wink.
Or even over on
This has been the 1999 speedrunning championship. Yeah, it's all over now. Go home, folks. Bye.
Bye,
Yeah,
everyone. That's
exactly,
all,
you know.
folks.
See you later, everybody.
Roll the
This is-
credits.
That's the end of this. That's the end of the channel. We're cancelling everything.
It's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
what's that film with Matthew Broderick that I'm thinking of? The one where he's in the dressing gown in the end, going, "It's over, go home." Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, that's what this is like. Just go home. It's over. Bye.
I'm already home.
Or like Barbie in the credits of Toy Story 2 being like, okay,
Bye.
bye now.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Is that it? Is everyone gone? Oh, thank goodness. That smile is killing me, you know.
Reminding me why that film's a masterpiece.
Exactly. Best film.
Oh, look, this
Yeah.
morning as well. There will be no repeat fixtures in the future rounds unless it's the grand
Okay.
final.
But so if I have my data correctly here, the second places are Lucas, Bobbledink, and Crystal Fisher, while the third
Yes.
places are Skater, Janinjuice, and Garth Vader.
Indeed.
Ooh, okay.
So
That's
between
Wait, what was that again? Sorry? Say that again?
the second places are Lucas, Bobbledink, and Crystal Fisher, while the third places are Skater, Janinjuice, and Garth Vader.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what was going on in Lucas's mind there, but apparently he heard something else.
Yeah.
So I could be racing Skater or Garth here. That's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
because
I
I've
was going to say, like, who would you personally want to race?
I don't know, because if we're talking Spyro, definitely Garth, because Skater's very good at Spyro. No offense, Garth, if you're watching, by the way. But like, it's weird because obviously round 2 it can still be any game at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of inclined to go for a very obscure game like Digging Jim. Not just dropping some hints there subtly. But yeah,
Do you have
no,
a
I'm open
preference?
to racing either of them, to be honest. I think they're both sound guys, and yeah, it should just be a good, fun time. Yeah.
Does
stuff.
Rodri want an all England battle, or does he want to face off against an American?
That is
Just
the
watched an
question.
easy ride.
Basically, you've sussed me out, Lucas.
But,
He has been exposed on Triangle to Talk.
Well,
Kind
we've
of-
already cancelled me, so
It's
what
true.
else can we say?
The
cancelled,
1999
exposed.
War of Independence special.
What about your self, Lucas? So you could face either Garth or what's it?
Garth or
Not
Janinjuice.
Skater. Or Janinjuice, yeah.
Yeah,
Janinjuice.
The hope is gin and juice because we have an idea for a race. So hopefully that'll be who I'm facing.
Can we
Fingers
get
crossed
the
then.
exclusive juicy details, but live now
Tell us
here in
more.
reveal? You know,
Mm?
I mean,
Hoping to race. If it does happen, we're hoping to race in Rayman 2.
Oh, nice.
okay, now we need to
Oh.
have that happen. Connor, rig the draw.
Yeah.
First round. Oh, it's Lucas against Joseph. Wow.
All the pressure on Connor now. I'm looking forward to this reveal video. You have hyped it up
Oh,
something fierce.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes.
If it-
the bells, the whistles, the confetti.
Oh,
if
yes.
You know,
If the video's already out, what are you doing? Go watch it. And if it's not out, what are you doing? Go mark it on your calendars.
Yeah, get your popcorn, your Coke. Make sure you don't spill any Pepsi,
come
Rodri.
join us for the premiere, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Lucas.
Now, I would ask the other second placer, Crystal Fisher, who he wants to race, but he's not here, so
does somebody want to do a really bad impression of an Australian accent?
Yeah.
Hello,
Connor.
everyone.
Connor,
Crystal Fisher here.
Your life's
So
been
guys,
leading up to this.
I don't really like my race one. I just think it's very exciting, and I can't wait for the second round of Square to Charge.
When did Andrew join the squad?
I'm dead. I'm so
Yeah, I was
dead.
gonna say.
I know Andrew for 11 years. Just want to point out to the viewers, I know him 11 years. You'll see the humor in it.
See, I can't tell if Connor's being funny or if Kiwi's very sleep deprived right now.
It could be both.
It's probably a bit of both, yeah.
Possibly. Love you, Connor.
Well done,
Thanks, mate.
Andrew, for winning the triple charge.
Yes, well done. Is it definitely
Yes.
a video
Oh,
we've all
Connor, where have
watched?
you gone?
It's definitely a video we've all watched, yeah.
We lost a Connor's feed.
Lost Connor.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm still here.
He's still here.
You
That's all
sound
right.
like you're in a well.
Are you able to get
You
your...
fell down.
There we go.
I was
I
just
was saying-
plugging my charger. It's like the viewers don't need to see me plugging in my charger.
All good. I was just concerned for a moment. I'll have to
You're
reshift my
square
OBS
to
setup.
charge, yeah.
I was thinking it was Fisher coming at you because you did the impression of him and he suddenly just heard you.
Fisher, you're in my
Oh.
house.
I really want
He's
in that
flown all the way from
window.
Australia. Yeah.
I really want in that window like Crystal Fisher to like, you know, plant his face up against the window and be like, "Here's Johnny," like, you know.
No, it
Come
would
up
be
sticking
even...
in the background like Cad Icarus style, like
It'll be
Exactly.
even funnier if he just like places his hands against the window. Is like, "Hello, everyone. Crystal Fisher here."
I have your head. He's like,
Yeah.
I have your hurdy stick, Connor.
Andrew just like
Like that?
putting himself up against the window, you know. I would, yeah, Connor, I would give that about 48 hours.
Yeah, as soon as he hops on that plane, takes the long flight to Ireland, he's gonna get you.
Yeah. So you
I'll
better
look
watch
on
your
for the joke,
your
but,
back for the next 48 to 56 hours or whatever it is.
What's this guy going on holiday in the next 48 hours?
True.
Well,
you could
then,
go back to Dubai.
He's got a fun trip
I could.
planned for him if you're going on holiday.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have a whole round to rest, so you could actually take a holiday for the next
Yeah.
week if you
It's
want.
true.
I could, yeah. Stretch my arms, stretch my legs.
But
That's it.
speaking of which, though, even though we're not quite at that point, though, Connor and Kiwi, are there any specific opponents you guys would like to potentially face in the future? Not just from the semi-finals, but just in general.
One thing I have liked about this tournament, and one thing I was very keen on when I was picking the groups, actually, that I really wanted to have different matchups. I want to try and get matchups that we hadn't seen before. Because even the tournament, the Spartan we did last year, there was a lot of the same kind of matchups, which I found, which was a bit too repetitive. And that's one thing I was really keen on. Having a few repeat matches that would get viewership up, obviously, and also get a few rivalries going, sort of thing, like a Rodri Danta, for example. You know,
I crushed you, mate.
Boom!
But I really did want to try to make sure that I was making sure that the majority of matches and the groups that were people that hadn't raced, like I don't think we'd seen Luke's and Skater before this tournament, or we hadn't seen, say, myself and Gar, for example, in a race. I'm trying to think. I mentioned all the groups. I think we hadn't seen Midnight Heart, for example, against Adanta.
That's true. Or against anyone,
yeah.
really.
We hadn't seen Casey and Garian, for example, which I think
Oh,
was
we
quite
hadn't
good as
seen
well.
that. No.
Yeah, and we hadn't seen like an Elise and Andrew. So like it's really good as well. And James Jones got to face new few people as well, which was mint.
Yeah, I think we've had some really great matchups this tournament, so major props for that one, Connor.
Yeah, just.
I've actually really enjoyed my group in that regard.
Sorry,
Sorry,
go on.
sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just gonna say, in terms of like people to face, I mean, I don't really have anybody that I'm going like, oh yeah, I really want to face that person. Like, I'm just like, whoever I get drawn up against, I'm just like, you know, I'll just go for it. I think the one thing that I was thinking about the other day, because having edited a lot of the descriptions and the tags of a lot of these videos, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, Fisher really loves to play Spyro 2. So if I were to come up against him, I'd probably go, yeah, I know you quite like your CTR Nitro Fueled, but obviously you can't do Nitro Fueled. So why don't we just do CTR is what I'm thinking.
Oh, you can do the CTR because oh wait, no,
Mhm.
the semi-final was mandatory.
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid.
Hmm.
So close.
I mean, an exhibition race
close.
though.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, are we only doing mandatory races in
For the
semi-final?
semi-finals, it's mandatory.
Semi-finals, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Didn't know that. I thought it was just grand final was mandatory.
I'm
You
afraid.
should have been second.
So close, guys.
So close yet so far.
I don't make the rules. I just simply think them up and write them down. Is probably what Connor's thinking right now.
So
It's
round
like
1.5.
Rodri, this is the room.
He's coming
Okay,
up with
Connor,
them as he
thanks.
goes along.
Exactly.
It's like, here's the rules, guys. Follow fruit. Yes, sir.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
for reasons like this we have round 1.5, I hope.
Oh yes, who knows? In fact, that's a good thing to mention because we've not mentioned what happens to the 4th and 5th places yet.
Oh yes, there's another thing I was really keen on actually. Having a
There's a
one-off.
thing that happens to them?
Oh, having a one-off race because you know
Yeah,
those
we died.
other
Have you ever seen
tournaments, right?
Skatuni? You're out of here. Sorry.
Because I've seen other
Go
tournaments where you
outta
see
here.
racers and you don't see them again for like a year or like to the next race. This tournament we will see a special one-off race where all people who finish 5th, all people who finish 4th will have a one-off race in the mandatory games, which I think would be really cool to see.
That'll
So
be interesting.
So we're going to see the likes of Marcus again, our good old buddy James Jones.
The truth is, once you're out the tournament, you're out the channel.
Yeah, sorry, Marcus.
This
That's
is my
what we
final
learned at the
goodbye.
end of our triple charge. Yeah.
This is my final goodbye. Like, after I host this podcast, I have to leave.
Oh, Danta, we have Danta in it too.
That'll be
Danta,
an
you must
interesting race.
leave.
Yeah, he's
Square
been in the
Card
call this whole
House.
time, Connor.
So the idea would
Did you only
be,
just work that out? Like,
so myself,
Is that
Marcus,
guy?
and James Jones could face off in a triple charge race to determine who is the ultimate 4th placer.
Oh yes,
That'll
Ooh,
be
yes.
interesting.
My money's on James Jones. He's going to ride his way to the top with speedrunning, not music.
James Jones is legally obligated to be an icon, so I feel like that's
Yeah.
genuinely possible.
And then down in
that'll
fifth
be very
place-
interesting.
Yeah.
But on
Who's
that,
the other 4th placer?
there's only 3
It's-
4th places: myself, Marcus, and James.
Oh yeah, you and sorry,
Yeah.
I only heard Marcus and James
Really,
Jones.
Marcus?
Who's the other one? Can't remember.
He's like one of the top.
Rodri forgot. God, Rodri.
I
How
know.
could you?
First Chris and now Danta. Like,
Like,
But
Who's next on your list?
yeah.
everyone.
Down in
Top
5th, we
tier.
only have 2 now, don't we? Down in 5th.
Danta's
Fifth
top tier when it
place-
suits him.
Technically 2 we have. We've got Garion and Midnight because Ellie had to drop out the tournament.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
if they want to join for a 5th place race, I'm sure that would be very awesome to see.
Yeah, would.
But Garion and Midnight Hard, that would be another interesting matchup to see.
I like that would be so
Well,
funny.
Midnight kind of comes on the server now and again and says, "Are there any races that I need to do?" And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, well, yes, there is
For
actually.
you, especially.
Yeah. I can't wait for Quickelodian to come around and for Midnight Heart to be like, "Oh yeah, we're doing that 99 thing, aren't we?" And it's like, "No, that finished 3 months ago."
I'm afraid you're too late for that.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you, but that ended a while ago.
It's like, you know, they go to me, Connor, when's your tournament starting? Oh, it's already over midnight. Sorry.
Yeah.
As I say, you gotta bless Midnight because like she was coming up with some game suggestions to me for our race. That was just like, oh, why don't we do Cool Borders? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Cool Borders was not a 99 game. And she's like, oh yeah, okay. And I went and googled it, and it was like 1997. And I'm like, nah, we can't do that.
I'll save that for
And
the
she
No,
came
no,
up with
no, no.
something else. Yeah, we were just coming up with this long list of stuff, and she's just like, "Oh, why don't we play this? Why don't we play this?" And I'm like, "You know the requirements, 1999." I said, "You can just Google a game and just see when it comes out." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I suppose I could." And I'm like, but after that, like the cool borders, I think is when I suggested to her about doing, because initially we were going to do Super Mario Bros. Deluxe because that was 99. And then we switched to Spyro, I think, in the end because I think she couldn't get I think it was the MGBA emulator. She couldn't get that running, so I was just like, fine, we'll just do Spyro.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? You can't go wrong with Spyro.
You have now made me want to see a Cool Borders race, though, so we have to get that happening as an exhibition at some point.
That'll be a good game.
Maybe a future Versus or Supercharged race, who knows? Like,
No, there's an idea.
There must have been a Cool Borders game released in 99, surely. Like, I'd expect what, like Cool Borders 2, Cool Borders 3?
Before Midnight's Time.
Oh, yeah, that was before Midnight's Time, actually, now you mentioned
I
it.
mean,
But,
99's already
He's
before
like
that, so that's even more before
post
that.
2000, right?
Yeah.
yeah, she's 2001.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Well, you've got to like applaud her knowledge of games from that time period.
Oh, yeah.
Era.
I've never even heard of that game.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to her, we
crazy.
just feel like a bunch of old timers.
Yeah. We're getting the pension soon.
You dang kids,
Well, maybe
back
Lucas,
in
he's
my
already
day,
losing
we
his
had
hair.
Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot. Cool Borders.
According to this, Cool Borders 4 was 1999, so there is a
Alright.
possibility to do that.
Sorted.
Ooh.
But yeah.
I mean, I have full faith that she could convince Garion to give that game a shot. So
It would be so good if she
Love
could.
to see that.
yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Gary.
Garion is a class act. He'll do any
Do
game.
anything.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
he would have been so much fun to run Elmo with. Actually, now that I think
Yeah.
about it,
Yes.
I know,
you know.
Why are we pressing X?
There's just a lot of games that were on this tournament that would just be a lot better if you could race Garion in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know,
Resident Evil 3 proved that.
Exactly. That was a
That was
great
a
one.
fantastic race.
I mean, in saying
Kingsley.
that, I don't think I'd swap a lot of my opponents that I raced, in games with. Like, as I say, because like we had a good race with Ape Escape, you and me,
Oh, yeah.
and then
I
Rodri,
loved Ape
you
Escape.
and
we
Pokemon
had a
Yellow,
great Pokemon.
which was infuriating watching that back your side, and I'm like, oh my god, outdated game mechanics have screwed the poor man.
Oh,
Yeah.
RN Jesus, man, strike me
Yeah.
down, take the wheel.
It's like- I loved our Ape Escape race, but I just didn't love it in the moment.
And then Janin Juice as well, the Toy Story. To me, that was right up there. I mean, because I'm sure this has been mentioned plenty of times now at this point, but it was my first ever video game. So to have that done for me in round one, to me was like, yeah, no, that was actually a necessity. Yeah.
That's another good point. I wanted to mention the dark horse that is Janin Juice going into round two. Because the thing is, right, he got 2 points like myself, like Danta. But originally, when he raced Danta, he beat Danta.
Yes.
And that race didn't count, and it was voided because it was
It's just barely too short.
Yeah, it was like a fraction too short of 10
9
minutes.
minutes 40 or something, I think it was. 9
Yeah,
minutes 20.
or something like that. And then he originally beat Kiwi as well, but then Kiwi's game, bugged out. So it's kind of that thing of like, maybe the score doesn't necessarily reflect the measure of the player. Like, I think Janin Juice is in the running to do very well in round two.
I mean, as I pointed out to him in the Toy Story race, because I think when we had the first race, when my controller and the game bugged out, he beat me. It was 9-8, and then when we did the second one, it was I beat him 14-10. So as I said to him, because he was quite, a little bit disappointed with that, I said to him, look, you've already improved doing a second run. I said, the fact of the matter is, you're not just keeping consistent performance, you're improving, over on your second time. So to me, that does suggest that he could be a pretty good performer for round two, actually.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. And I look forward to seeing him in future tournaments and seeing how he does, really, because I think this time last year, because we did a tournament for a different channel, like, he didn't get a single win. And now he's coming out with 2 wins. He beat the person who came first in our group. He beat Danta once. Like, I think there's a really exciting future. for racing with Jinin Juice.
Oh, definitely.
And that's why it was important to me that we didn't let him, step away early. And it's like, no, you need to see this through. And yeah, he's done amazing. Very proud of him.
And I mean, now that he hasn't stepped away, he's actually made it into round 2. So I think that's an even better thing for him. Actually, yeah,
Definitely,
absolutely.
Yeah. It's like I feel like I think about like how I didn't make it into the next round, but I also think that Jinin Juice definitely deserves a spot a lot more than I do. If only because technically he did beat me the first time.
Yeah. Should have been longer than 920, Dante.
Exactly. He's just that good.
Yeah.
But also, major shout out to Jinin Juice for designing the logo for the channel and the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, good man.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, everything you see on the channel, Square to Charge logo, Triangle to Talk logo, very soon our new series, X to Play, all of our overlays, that's all down to him, supremely talented individual.
But what would Circle
and has
be?
given us his time for free.
Circle the fame.
And that's what's pretty impressive. It's the time you put into it rather than just,
cramming it all together.
Yeah, he didn't need to do that really. Yeah. It was charitable.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
On that note, we have officially run out of time for this podcast. We don't want this one to go on for too long. It's only the first one after all. We don't want to scare people away.
Absolutely.
But this has been a great talk, guys. I think we've nailed the formula.
It's not been a disaster. Well done.
This has not been a disaster. Yeah. Just watch as the footage corrupts.
I think there's a very, very bright future. We shall charge ahead.
Exactly.
Everyone hold that square button.
Okay, let me get my controller. I'm pressing square.
Oh, I actually have one here now.
Oh no, I pressed triangle.
Well.
Now I'm talking.
There we go.
Here's one he prepared earlier.
I won here because
I'm pressing triangle because I want to talk.
I'm pressing X.
He totally prepared that earlier.
Yeah.
What happens if you push the middle button, though? What happens if we push that middle button?
The middle
Oh,
button.
the whole screen. Never mind.
I think it might end the podcast. Let's try this.
Okay, ready?
Okay, it didn't end the podcast.
Yay!
But thank you all for watching. And
my computer made a noise. Anyway, sorry.
Well, my PlayStation made a noise, so thank you all for watching this first attempt at Triangle to Talk. And we'll see you guys for the next video.
We look forward to many more.
Kaboom.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Ciao for a good future.
That was, but bye.